Well, it's a very apt intro song for the game at the weekend. Good old Bird, EIE, down the lane. So that's to bed. Right, let's get into this. Lawrence, thanks, mate, for joining.
Thank you.
Second time after you joined the quiz. Wow back. Somebody's got something on in the background somewhere. I can hear it.
No, I've turned my TV down.
Yeah, it's not me.
It's not me.
TV or something.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I think I know what it is. Let me just log off for a minute. I'll be right back with you. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Yeah, Kawaji, mate. Perfect way to start the show. Jez is Arsenal. Yeah. Well, let's quickly go round that one. Kenny Ken, you were there. Great day out at the Emirates. 4-1 hat trick. Third time for Arsenal ever. Amazing situation. The comment from the Tottenham manager, Eze, who, well, that's not a good thing to say just for the game when you're going to get your ass wiped. Mate, give us your breakdown of it.
I think basically it was all about team selections and about Tottenham's attitude. You know, they played. I think if that was a Brentford team that he was managing, he wouldn't have approached it like that. He would have been more positive because he knows his players. He's that when Brentford came to us last season and when we played them at their ground, they were on the front foot. You know, they did attack in numbers. They did get men behind the ball, but there was a good structure in it because he knows his players inside out. Most of the players were fit as well. The only player that he didn't have, I remember that, Paul. Yeah, it's a long story, me and Paul, but it was something to do with the boxing. But basically, if you sort of segue back to when we played Brentford in April, they play with a back four. They put men behind the ball, but on the counter attack they put attacked at pace. But he knew he plays inside out. At Tottenham, there he's got no Solanke. Song's just gone to the MLS. He's got a lot of injuries. He's just got to the team. He doesn't know his team properly. So basically, what he did is that it was a hit and hope. He played with a back three, which was a massive mistake. He took away the creativity down the right hand side of Porro. A Doggy or Spence could have played, and he basically left his midfielders outnumbered by playing to two in the midfield, and that actually killed them. And we were just finding space. Even before we scored, we were always on the front foot. And as soon as we scored, there was no plan B, and we just picked one foot with ease. And may I say, we're only in third gear. They didn't really put us to the test. Everything they tried, they just kept on making mistake after mistake. And Eze just had acres of space, and that's what he thrives on. So far, so good. But the thing with Eze, I want more. I'm not satisfied for that. Yeah, he scored in North London derby, and you'll be a hero of mine for life for scoring at Spurs because I hate the club. But I want more.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, We're going to touch on a point which DJ, you were at the game.
Yeah.
Fantastic to see Arsenal again beat Tottenham on our tribal rivals, if you want to put it that way. Let's be honest, they haven't beaten us at the Emirates since 2010. So, fantastic result all round. Players gave it the large. To me, DJ, Eze really got it. He knew what it meant in that derby. And I the reason I'm saying that, right, he's a London boy, right? He's grown up, loved Arsenal, was at Arsenal in the academy. And then, he's watched Arsenal from afar. And the day we actually went in for him, which I actually predicted, I said, right, when Havertz got injury, right, we'll go in for him the next day. And we did, and we got him. And he actually got it. Because his passion for that. Big up, Dale. Dale, how you doing, mate? DJ, you saw it. You were there.
Mm-hmm.
You saw more of it. When you're actually at the ground, you get the atmosphere. Give me your opinion, man. Give me your opinion.
They were pumped up from the start, Jez. The whole build up to the game, before the game, the lights going out, the fireworks, the glitz and the glam. The players didn't need much. If you can't get motivated for a North London derby, then you're never going to be able to get motivated. That when you sign for Arsenal, it's in your risk assessment. There's 2 fixtures, or probably 3 fixtures, that you have to get up for. The other rivals being Man United. Don't care what anyone says. That's a big rivalry as well. Possibly Liverpool and Spurs. So they're the 3 fixtures you have to get up for. Probably Chelsea thrown in there. But I think with Eze, it was the whole kind of perfect storyline for him, really. Arsenal boyhood club, grown up Arsenal fan, knows what the North London derby is all about. Never had the opportunity to play in a North London derby because he was at Palace. I think we signed him 2 years too late, to be honest. I would have liked to have signed him earlier. He was one that should have been signed probably about 2 seasons ago, but for some reason or another, the opportunities didn't arise. So now he is at the club. And once he got that first goal, he was on it. He was on it. But then there was players around him as well that contributed. I thought Trossard was very, very good. Saka was good, but I didn't see an outstanding performance like a lot of people did. I still think that I have seen better from Saka. I've seen a lot worse, but I have seen better from Saka. But yeah, it was a great night, brilliant performance all round. And I'm going to say it, everyone got it spot on. Everyone got it spot on, from the coaching staff to the players. However, Spurs played into our hands. It's as simple as that. They lined up to frustrate us. They lined up to get a draw. They showed no ambition to attack. And I've got to be honest with you, Jez, I was absolutely shocked of, 1, Spurs' lineup, and 2, the lack of urgency for a North London derby. Even though you probably can't think to yourself, well, player for player, we're not going to beat Arsenal. At least show a little bit of passion in a North London derby where you can compete. That's what you've got to do minimum in any derby, is compete. If you compete and you come out losing, then okay. But the fact of the matter is, they didn't even compete. There was nothing there. So it was. I'll be honest, it was one of the worst teams I've seen in many, many years come to the Emirates. I see Forest and Leeds put up some sort of fight this season. But that's taking nothing away from the performance. You've still got to go and perform. You've still got to go and beat the team that's in front of you. And everyone done their job. There will be bigger challenges ahead. We know that. Bayern Munich tomorrow will be one of them. Chelsea will be another one of them. There will be bigger challenges ahead. And where I'm sitting from, it is still only early days, Jez. I don't care what anyone says. It's still only early days. A lot can happen between now and the end of January. A lot can happen, but it was brilliant to see the Crystal Palace Eze. It was brilliant to see the Eze that we signed. That's what we signed him for. That's what we paid the money for. We paid him for those moments. We paid him in games like that to come up with the goods. And I'm with Kenny. Don't stop there. Let's see Eze now, being on the score sheet on a regular basis and assisting and being a right nuisance. I really want him to perform. I just hope with Odegaard coming back, Eze, it's not going to, how can I say, it's not going to upset the apple cart. Because I know it's an advantage that you've got players coming back from injury, but it can be a disadvantage if you upset a winning team. We've seen that with Liverpool this season with all the signings they've made. It's just imbalanced the team a little bit. So, yeah, long may it continue and onwards and upwards. But yeah, what can you say? Outstanding performance. Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. John Long, 5413. At least you lot can hope we get battered against Munich. Mate, if you don't want to talk sensibly, right, in my chat, fuck off. Because at the end of the day, we are true Arsenal fans that actually support the club as it should be, right? And we actually want standards at the club. So if you want to talk bullshit, right, I'll give you a couple of more opportunities and I'm going to block you, all right? So come in the chat, act like an adult, respect these panelists that I've got on here that have watched Arsenal all their lives, yeah? Lawrence was at Highbury with Along the same time I was, with Kenny, well, with DJ, right, and Shano. If you want to talk bullshit to these men, right, who are proper Arsenal fans, don't tell bollocks. Because at the end of the day, you'll get blocked. I really don't give a shit. Right? I've got no private people with you. I want to sit there with a mural, right, of Declan Rice, yeah, and then sit here and say we have to when we get battered against Munich. So be nice, or fuck off. Okay? I don't mess about with people now. Anyway, Shano, let's move on. You watched the game. You saw what happened. Brilliant performance, in my opinion. But I'll just quickly do this thing, mate, and I'll let you. As a Spurs fan, I was shocked at the appointment of Thomas Frank. His replacement at Brentford, Keith Andrews, has them playing better football than us. Well, you can't deny that one, can you? Let's be honest. But at the end of the day, Shano, there's still some background noise somewhere. What the fuck is it?
It's really interfering. Yeah,
it's really annoying. What is it? It's a real bad background noise here.
I know.
It's really annoying, guy. It's whoever it is, it's really annoying.
it's not me.
It's not me either.
Now it's stopped now, but I don't know what it is. Anyway, Shano, give me your opinion, mate, and I'll come to Lawrence.
Yeah, listen, Eze was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was nice to see him being played as a free 10. We've been calling for it since he came. None of this heat maps. He's a left winger shite. None of this one lone 6 and a left 8 and a right 8. Arteta has finally, not through his own doing, but he's finally started to play a double pivot. The last few games edged it in with Rice beside Zubimendi, and one of them goes, the other one stays, and he's let the 10 have a bit of freedom. Now, for me, it's happened. It hasn't been a conscious decision. I think he's realised that he can't leave Zubimendi on his own, that he needs Rice beside him. But we've always said a double pivot. I never got the lone 6. It was different with Thomas Partey, who could handle it on his own. And Odegaard has always needed someone beside him as well. But Eze, once he's in that free role, it's funny how he performs like that when he's given that freedom. Because we always say, me and DJB and a lot of us, that when we got Eze, relax, we're not getting the Crystal Palace Eze, we're getting the Mikel Arteta Eze, who's restricted and told when to pass and who to pass to and when to shoot. In that game, he got plenty of freedom. He was allowed to shoot when he wanted to. And all three of those goals, Odegaard will never, ever score those goals. He won't snap that shot off. He will not take that shot because all three of those goals, he took the shot right before a normal player would have taken an extra touch. He snapped it off the keeper. That's why the keeper couldn't get down to them. Odegaard takes another 2 or 3 touches and either lays it off or tries a little scoop pass. That performance of going to your or playing, well, not going to them coming to you, but playing your rivals, banging in a hat trick, taking the game by the scruff of the neck. I don't think Odegaard's ever, even in his best season, has ever really done that. He's had moments, flashes. He got 15 goals, I think, in the 22-23 season. He was very good that season. But he had Xhaka beside him. Eze did that on his own. And I think Arteta's finally starting to see that he can let Eze play the 10 on his own. The only problem is, right, and people will go, oh, look, you hope it, like that clown that was in talking about, oh, this must be the sus that we lost and all. Go on, man. You have school tomorrow. Get some sleep. But what I will say is, we have to remember that when Odegaard comes in, he will get... Eze is not staying in that position, and I don't care what anyone says. Eze will not stay in that position when Odegaard comes back, because he will... I put it into my chat the other day. If Odegaard is fit, if Rice is fit, and if Zubamendi's fit, I just don't see him dropping one of them for Eze. I think Eze will be either shunted out to the left or else he'll come in, every so often. But it was nice to see him play the free 10. It was nice to see the double pivot. I thought Trossard was absolutely exceptional. I thought Saka wasn't as good as people are saying. He was all right. He didn't do anything wrong, but I didn't see him really take players on and stuff like that. Zubamendi was at fault for the goal. I thought he was poor throughout. Rice was his normal, brilliant self. Timber was absolutely exceptional going forward. He gets better going forward every single game. Calafiori was solid. I thought Nkapie did really well. Saliba was good with getting in. He dealt with Richarlison's nonsense quite well. Marino was sort of in and out, but Trossard and Eze were absolutely exceptional. So that's what we want to see. We want to see goals that aren't always set pieces. We changed it up, but we do have to also take into account that Tottenham offered absolutely nothing. Absolutely, their fans should be ashamed of their team. They should be ashamed of their manager, and the players should be ashamed of themselves, because they had no intention of ever trying to attack, which has caught us out before. Let's be fair, and we haven't broken a team down. And we tried to break them down early on with Eze's little scoop pass. But a 4-1 win against your rivals, we move on. Unlike John Long and these other people that seem to think we went 22 points clear with that win, we didn't. We didn't go 22 points clear. We went 6 points clear, and we played Chelsea away, and everything can change in a week or two. The league's not over. There's 12 games gone. So I know these guys want to live up in the clouds, and they want everything to be credit for the manager. Please praise the manager, praise the manager. That wasn't a tactical masterclass. That was us playing against a team who suited our plan A. That's it. That's what happened against City last season. That's what happened against Madrid. A team that suited our plan A. Eze was allowed to play. That was good. But again, we have to remember the substitutions. Calafiori shouldn't have touched grass. He hadn't trained in 2 weeks. Why was he playing? And when we go 3-0 up, if you are going to force him to play, when we go 3-0 up, a minute after half time, take him off. I mean, why is he staying on? He wasn't fit enough to play for Italy. He didn't train for a week before that. He didn't train for the week in between. So this manager, as much as he's got that right and he's doing really well and we're top of the league and we're second in the Champions League and all of that stuff, the same mistakes are being made that catch us out in the second half of the season. Every year they catch us out. We start to lose players. Players are too tired. They're all in the red. If he doesn't sort that out, there's a very good chance that we will be chased down. So he really needs to start looking at that. But people accuse us of nitpicking, and I'll finish on this. We might nitpick, but I say this all the time. This is elite sport. This is the highest level of football that you can play. Premier League and Champions League. You can do 95% of things right and still not win. At the end, you might not win the league if you do 95% of things right, because someone else will do 98% of the things right. So you have to nitpick that 5%. You have to work on that 5%. You have to say, we are going to get injuries. If you don't start rotating, we are going to get injuries to our main players. And that is the difference between finishing second, going out in the semi-finals of the League Cup, going out in the semi-finals of the Champions League. That's the difference between that and winning the league and winning the Champions League. So when we nitpick, it's for the betterment of the club. So if all these fans want to talk about this manager as bringing us into the elite stages and we're up now at the big table, then I want big table standards. I want managers sacked if they don't win the big prizes. And if he doesn't win it, then I want him sacked. If he wins it, then he's back to square one and he's getting slot treatment. Start slowly. I want you sacked again. And that's nothing personal on him. That's just the way our club should be run. It's the modern way that clubs are run. But all in all, Eze, absolute legend. Like Kenny said, he's got a fan for life now in me as well. So big up to Eze, man. Absolute legend, and delighted for him.
Yeah, absolute facts, man. I'll just do these super chats, Lawrence, and I'm coming to you. SG, mate, thank you for your super chat. Question: will Arteta shoehorn Odegaard into the team sheet by benching Eze or Trossard? Shoehorn Havertz instead of Grockers. We're going to come on to this right after I spoke to Lawrence about the game, right, the Spurs game. Big up, Stephen, man. Good evening, Jez. Thank you for your super chat, my friend. Kenny, DJB, Shane, and Lawrence. Greetings to the 5 fine Gooners. We beat the Cockerel, balancing on the basketball. Yeah, of course we did. Lawrence, my friend, as always, welcome. Give me a breakdown, mate, what you thought about Spurs and the game.
Well, I thought about Spurs. Well, basically, they were looking for a goalless draw, weren't they? They were parking the bus. You know, they had no attacking whatsoever. I think the stats said they only had 2 shots on goal, and one of them was that fluke goal by Richarlison, which says everything about them. You know, I've never rated them. You know, I mean, they haven't really improved that much. You know, they were lucky to win that trophy last season that they keep going on about. But they are what they are. They are a shit side. You know, I mean, they were fortunate with some of their results this season in the away games. They were boasting about they had the best away record in the Premier League. But we sussed them out. You know, I mean, I was just unhappy that it wasn't a larger scoreline, because I mean, if Eze had put that other chance away to make it 5-1, that would have been beautiful. But they are honestly a shit outfit, Tottenham. You know, they're a little club. They think they're a big club, but they're a little club from Middlesex. You know, they haven't won the league for 60 odd years. You know, they will always be in our shadow. North London is red.
You don't like Tottenham, Lawrence. You don't like Tottenham.
Whatever gave you that impression?
Oh, mate, go on.
But you know, it was. I mean, it was a great performance. But I, for one, I'm keeping my feet on the ground. You know, I'm not like everyone else. We're thinking, yeah, we're going to win the league this season. There's a long way to go. The title is decided in May, not in the last week of November. And I've seen this movie too many fucking times before over the last few years, where we've romped ahead and everyone thinks it's our year, and then this manager fucks it up at the end of the season. And I don't want to be a doom and gloom merchant, but I've got a feeling something's going to go wrong again. He's going to do something that's going to fuck it up again for us, because of what's happened over the last couple of years or so when we've been in a similar position.
Got you. I hear you, mate. I hear you. I'm going to change it over now, because just do a super chat, mate. Stano is Spurs fan. Big up to you, mate. Stano too. Guys, we were shit on the day, a total joke, but hoping Frank sorts it out. But would love these derbies like the good old days on Boxing Day. Oh, mate.
No, not on Boxing Day.
Yeah, it was. No, come on.
Not on Boxing Day.
Nah, it's always at Christmas,
It
mate.
doesn't matter what day we play you, Steno, and big up to you for coming into the chat on this day, but it doesn't matter what day we play you. The result of the Emirates will still be the same. So, not on Boxing Day, though.
Going down the lane on Boxing Day, I've been there on Boxing Day down the lane, right? And it's always an occasion. It's always been a great atmosphere. Yeah, it may have.
Yeah, do you remember the song? Do you remember the song? It used to say, and the Tottenham run away, and we will fight forevermore because of Boxing Day.
The only thing that I didn't like about it was always the morning kickoff. Remember, it was always 11 o'clock, 11:30, which meant
it was the same at Highbury though. The ones at Highbury were half 11 as well, that used to get me down as well, because I was thinking, hang on here, you just go out of bed, and then there were games on New Year's Day as well, where there is where you could just walk, and it was the same sort of thing, 12:30. You know what I mean? But I think with TV, it's very hard to have these games of boxing. Another thing as well, remember it was basically before they got the computer involved in around. I think it was around I don't know, around the late 80s, mid 80s. It was a case where clubs would say, right, for travel purposes, we want a place that we don't want to travel at too far away during Christmas. So Arsenal always had Tottenham around either Christmas or New Year's Day, and it was a case of because there were games the next day. If they're Arsenal to travel, if they wouldn't go too far, they'd probably go maybe Birmingham. But it was all kind of structured when it was like basically like an agreed fixture list. But now it's all computers. Although clubs do consult the Premier League at the end of the season and anything between June, in order to say, right, I think it's around April, I stand corrected, where they basically say, right, can we have these fixtures at certain times? Because the Premier League goes to consult their stakeholders. So anyone who says that doesn't happen is mistaken. The Premier League have actually confirmed it themselves, that they actually before ask the club's opinion, and then what will happen is they'll get together and they will pencil certain fixtures for certain times.
I mean, we've Kenny, you and I have talked about this many times, and we've always disagreed about it. But sorry for me, it's always a Christmas feast of having Tottenham, Arsenal, Tottenham. But Stephen, again, mate, thank you for your super chat. Correct, 100%. We were 8 points clear. Remember, I'm still traumatized by it. To be fair, fair play to you, my friend. Total hit sweet. Interesting that if we win the league, Shane will treat Arteta like the Slot situation. Never thought of that. There you go. SG, mate, big up, mate, again for your super chat. You're a legend. Football is in a cesspool. If Odegaard is included in the world-class conversation, I just want to puke. Whenever Odegaard is starting, I guess what dibbly-dobbly as shown in the big games, really, then Odegaard. Right, fair. That's a great comment. Let's get into this. I think this is quite important. Odegaard's back in training, Kenny. I'm going to come to you on this. Oh, dear. If Odegaard is fit tomorrow against our nemesis, right, and they are a bloody nemesis in the Champions League, right, do you think he will start? I've seen comments today on different channels saying, well, he's our captain. He must start. So what does that say for Eze? Go on, Kenny, please.
Well, first and foremost, Odegaard's not fully fit. He's going to be eased into games like he was when he came back from his shoulder injury, when he was eased back in the Newcastle game. And obviously he came on against, he played the full game against Olympiacos, and that's how he's going to do it. When he's fully fit, it's highly likely he will get his place back. I think for tactical purposes, because the manager likes to shape the team when he's in the team. Because what Odegaard would do, which Eze, we don't really want Eze doing, is Odegaard will be like the first press, and he'll basically have people coming behind him. So that's why he'll have him for that position. Another thing as well, he rates him as a leader. And he thinks, in terms of like the tactical aspect, his partnership with Saka, that would be his preferred position. However, Eze is going to give him a bit of a bloody nose and a headache, because it's a good problem to have, because Eze is not a left winger. I know a lot of people wanted Eze in the team at all costs, but Trossard's playing too well there. And then you've got the Madueke conundrum. So he's got a difficult decision to make, but you and I know. In certain games against teams that are on the front foot, he may not play Eze and play Odegaard on the basis that Odegaard's better off the ball. That is something that we've got to take in consideration. We don't like it, we don't want to hear it, but I think one thing that we do know is that we know this manager inside out. We know what he does tactically. a lot of people who are Arteta acolytes and Arteta fans, they don't know anything about his way of playing. They don't know anything about him as a coach. They certainly don't know anything about football, because when we're trying to point out why he's doing things, they think we're digging him out. No, we're just talking about how he prefers to play, the tactical side of the game, and we tend to keep a cool head if Eze's had a good game against Tottenham. As football fans or football people, we understand that doesn't necessarily and won't necessarily keep him in the side, because of the manager still hasn't, got a preferred way of playing, and he's got a plan A and plan B, and all we've seen this season that there's possibilities that we can do things differently. But the only reason why we'll be able to have a plan A, B, and C is because the defence is so solid.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Personally, I don't want to see him back in the team. DJ, right? You've had the privilege, I haven't, of seeing this guy live. Yeah, you and Kenny, you've been there, seen it, done it. I don't think, if he's fit, which I'm not sure he will be, I don't think he warrants coming back in the team with the way we've got the midfield working right now.
Well, it's going to be hard for him to get back in the team straight away, because, as Kenny said, he's got to ease. All the players coming back have got to be eased in at some point. However, I mean, we were speaking about this the other day. There could be a way of, and a lot of people ain't going to like this, because a lot of people put Zubimendi as world class. There could be a way where you could put Odegaard and Eze in the same team, because when we're playing certain teams at the Emirates, you don't need two defensive kind of like-minded midfield players in the same team. You could play like Rice, bringing back in more like a 6 role, and then you could play Odegaard in the 8, and then you could play Eze in the 10. And then you can still play Trossard on the left. You can still then play Saka out on the right. So there is a way you can get him in the team with Eze in it. And there's a lot of Arsenal fans that would like to see that. I personally, for one of them, in certain games, I'm not saying every game, because you're going to need your Zubimendi and that in there as a double pivot in certain games. But there's certain games at home, especially at the Emirates, where teams don't really come to attack and sit very in a low block, where you can play Odegaard and Eze in the same team. Listen, when Odegaard's on it, he's effective. The problem is, with Odegaard, he's hit and miss when he's on it. And let's before we go overboard with Eze, up until the hat-trick against Spurs, he's also been hit and miss. Let's be honest. That game against Spurs has kind of cemented his place. And it's like, welcome to the Arsenal, Eze. But up until then, there was a lot of fans, both, if you want to call it positive and whatever, fans from across the board saying the same thing. Eze needs to step up. Want to see a little bit more. So it's only since the Spurs game now that this kind of sort of conundrum has come about. Do we play Odegaard or do we play Eze? As long as Eze's not thrown out on the left, because I was on a show when we first signed him, and I won't mention his name. He got all these crazy heat maps out and everything else. And then I put a heat map up of Eze when he was at Crystal Palace playing through the middle of number 10 and everything else. And that kind of put that to bed. And now he scored a hat-trick playing in the 10, and he's more effective playing in the 10. So let's not put him out on the left. But I mean, Aaron's in the chat. He mentioned it the other day as well, where Odegaard and Eze can play in the same team. But the sacrifice would probably have to be Zubimendi. I don't think the manager is brave enough to do that. This is the problem. This is another thing where it comes back to the manager. See, a manager can use his squad. So he's got Havertz coming back. He's got Odegaard coming back. He's got Madueke coming back. Now, if he's going to prove himself as a top manager, he's got to find different systems against different teams to incorporate these players, right? Because if he's going to play the same 11 week in and week out, then you're going to get more injuries and you're going to get more fatigue. That's just facts. That's nothing to do with Arteta. That's nothing to do with any manager that would do this. Doesn't matter who's in charge. That's just facts. So there is a way we can get Odegaard in the team alongside Eze. Should he throw Eze out of bed if he gets in the team? No, I don't think Odegaard's done enough personally before he got injured in the seasons leading up to this season to do enough to get Eze out the team. I think Eze deserves the 10. But if you're going to be honest, take the Spurs game away. We was all saying the same thing about Eze. Me and Kenny said it on shows. If Eze don't step up, Odegaard's going to walk straight back in. Has he done enough to keep the captain out of the team? So really, it's only the Spurs game that he stepped up that we're asking the question now. But up until then, it was a flick of a coin who would come in. So, yeah, if the manager uses his squad and the squad depth that everyone goes on about, and rightly so, it is a very, very strong squad. If the manager uses it in the right way, there's a lot of different systems that can be played. With the players we've got, there's about 2 or 3 different systems that we can play against certain teams. And that's what the manager's got to utilise. That's what he's got to try and look at doing. But no, Eze definitely deserves his place.
I think it'd be absolutely totally wrong if this manager, right, disrespected him after the great performance he put in at Tottenham.
Oh yeah,
against Tottenham, to bring in his star boy, one of his star boys, Shano. Same thing to you, mate. I mean, Odegaard. Right, I'm going to change the question, mate. I'm going to change it up. Right, we've got Bayern Munich tomorrow night. Yeah, we know they're our nemesis in the Champions League. Would you, if he is fit, or he's on the bench, would you let him play tomorrow, Odegaard? Would you let him?
Yeah, you see, the thing is, and I'll slightly disagree with the two lads, not on their points, just on a couple of things, like this thing of that they'll be edged back in. Arteta never edges a player back in. What he does is, even after a long-term injury, they make one sub appearance, and then they start the rest of them. That's his edging them back in. They don't make 2 or 3 sub appearances. They make one sub appearance, and then they're straight back in. We saw that with Gabriel in pre-season. Came on for 28 minutes in the second last pre-season game, started the next one, and then started every game, and then he broke down. So I think Odegaard, whether he's ready for this game or for the weekend, he'll be on the bench for the first game he's back. Whatever one it is, he'll come off the bench with about 28 minutes, half an hour, and then he'll start from then on. I don't see there being any fandom. I don't see there being any, let's leave Eze. You know, this manager, you know, would have watched Eze play that game, and he'd be thinking, oh God, how his mind would be working. How am I going to get Odegaard back in the team? That's how his mind will be working. It won't be, oh, this is a good headache to have. It will be, how do I get him back in the team? And he'll edge him back in, but he knows deep down that 80% of this fan base will back whatever decision he makes. Someone said to me today that, if he drops Eze for Odegaard, even the top Gooners, that they won't. They'll find a way to justify it. They'll find a way to say he's our captain, whatever the case may be. So I do think if he's fit tomorrow, he'll be on the bench. If he's not, if it's another few days, he'll be fit for the weekend. I think Havertz is close as well. You know what I mean? So we'll be going back to this is what the people don't seem to get. And Kenny's spot on. When we call this guy out on stuff, Jez, when we say this is what he likes to do, this is the way his mind works, even if they think it's a shot at him, we're just laying down facts. And Kenny's right. It's no coincidence that a lot of the people over on their side are sort of not very knowledgeable when it comes to football. You know what I mean? They I don't think they watch it properly. I think they watch a match and look for gimmicks, and they look for the stats to come up, and they look for XG and all this stuff. I don't think they watch football. It's why they think Zubamendi's world class. He's been really average. And I've said this before, when I say he's been average, again, it's not a shot at him. It's his first time in England. Average and being on top of the league isn't that bad. You know what I mean? To be starting every game for a team that's top of the league and being average in your first season, it's not that bad. There's room for improvement, is all we're saying. There's room for improvement. They just have to go, he's been the best. I heard someone say to me that he was phenomenal against Spurs. Phenomenal. He wasn't phenomenal against Spurs. He was really average. So when I look at the Odegaard thing, for me, it's not a matter of if he gets back into the midfield, it's when. And I put that question out to my chat this morning because I just can't see a world where Mendy, Rice, and Odegaard are fit, and he drops one of them for Eze. I can't see it because Odegaard's his guy, it's his captain. Rice is his £1 million sign, and Mendy he's wanted for years. We have to remember he didn't want to sign Eze. Eze was signed because Havertz got injured, right? We all know that Havertz. We weren't even in. We were in for him. We were keeping an eye on him. The injury happened. He's there the very next day. So that will make up his mind from. It doesn't matter what Eze does. His 3 boys are there. He has favourites. We know it. Views calls them Arteta's Angels. I call them the famous 5. He has his favourite players, and they will play. And again, we look at the way his mind works. Does he edge players back in? He took off a winger against Spurs. It wasn't Saka, who's still not right. It was Trossard. You know what I mean? Like there's just these little bits and pieces that he does. So for me, it's not a matter of if Odegaard comes back into the starting lineup. It's when, and I don't see any of the others being changed. A top manager like DJB said would go, and I've said this for time as well. Okay, we're at home to Burnley. I don't need Rice and Zubimendi. I'll use one of them. And I'll go with Eze and Odegaard, or I'll go with Eze and Ethan, or Odegaard and Ethan, or I'll mix it up and I'll surprise the other team and I'll play a really attacking formation. That's what a really top coach would do. That's what Pep would do. Pep might have, okay, do you know what? I'll play Foden in the 10 today and I'll play Bernardo with him. And then a different game, I'll have Bernardo at the wing and I'll bring in Kovacic and I'll bring it, he'll mix it up depending on the opposition. But for me, yeah, it's not a matter of if, it's when. And where he puts Eze, then I don't know. He'll have to find a place for him because he's smart enough as a politician to know he has to find a place for him because even some top Gooners might turn. But whether he pushes him out for Trossard, I don't know. It could just be taken out of his hands again, Jez. We could just get another injury to Rice or something like that and it'd be taken out of his hands. Like everything that's being done this season. Like playing Eze in midfield for a start. Like signing Eze. All this stuff was taken out of his hands by circumstance. But yeah, I think as soon as Odegaard is 80% fit, he'll be on the bench, whether it's tonight or at the weekend. But he'll make one sub appearance and then he'll start every game after that.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. Shano, Vincenzo's asking you this, or us this. Don Jez from the panel, do you think we'll win anything this season, Shano?
No.
Sorry, Lawrence, what do you think? Are we going to win anything this season?
I don't know. As I said, it's November. We don't know what's going to happen ahead of time, I mean, things are looking good at the moment. But as I said, we've been in this position before, and this manager has fucked it up. He's got this track record of ballsing things up, bottling everything come the end of the season. I'd like to think we are going to win the league, but you never know with this manager. Like Shane says, he'll find a way to get Odegaard back in the side. I mean, personally, no one's got a divine right to be in the team, right? He's got to work his way to get back into the team. It's the same with all the others that are out injured. Yorkeres, they've all got to work. They can't just get back into the team straight away. They've got to prove themselves that they're fit enough to get back into the team.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Kenny, Gunners for Liam says, fellas, can we all agree? We can all agree, can't we? That Odegaard will be a nightmare, so to speak, for Arteta in or out, but a massive hindrance to the team. Kenny, what do you think on that one? Great comment.
Well, he's got look, Odegaard last season performances was not acceptable. You could, if you want to be generous, you say 100% it could have been because of his injuries. There was no competition for his place, but there is competition now. Especially in terms of Eze, he'll give us something different. So, look, the manager. If you told any of us 2 years ago that Timber would edge out Benjamin White, would have laughed at you because Benjamin White was a shoo-in. But look what's happened. Benjamin White is nowhere near good enough to play at right back. Timbers completely nailed that position down. We look a much better team with him. So the manager's shown he is capable of making those kind of decisions. And, if he feels that Odegaard isn't the same level as Eze, and Eze will take us to that next level, then he will definitely do that. The reason why I think he'll definitely do that because he's done it before, isn't he? One thing about this manager, he changes the way we play to a certain extent, and he's very ruthless. Whether he'll be ruthless with his captain, it's another kettle of fish. But one thing I will say, it's on him. Yeah, no, I'm not falling for that. But one thing I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, is if it comes to push to shove, and Arteta will always put himself first before any player and any focus of opinion. If he feels Eze is his number one man, then Odegaard will fall down the wayside. If Odegaard plays crap and Eze plays crap, then the manager's got a decision to make. But one thing about this manager, Eze will. I pray that Eze doesn't have the individuality knocked out of him, because if he has the individuality knocked out of him, then he'll be playing regularly for us. So it's a double-edged sword. If he plays regularly, it's because he very good improved. And he improved, which means you'll see something taken away from his game. Look what Joe Cole had to do at Chelsea to play regularly under Mourinho. The Joe Cole that everyone was talking about, skillful, Zizou, Mini Zizou, the next Gaza. We never saw that at Chelsea. We saw a hard-working, functional player.
Yeah, true.
So if Eze wants to play in his team, he may have to sacrifice some of that Crystal Palace and QPR panache to stay in the team. That's the double-edged sword we got with Eze becoming regular in his team.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, Kenny. I mean, DJ, let's we got a big game tomorrow. Big game, big game. Champions League, huge.
Yeah,
we've got Bayern Munich. We know how we've performed against them in history. I think we've got a different setup now. Good question here from Total Hit Sweet. You reckon we should give Downman a chance tomorrow against Bayern Munich, mate?
No.
Not for me. Not at the moment. We don't need to put Downman in a game like this tomorrow. We can use Downman in other games. I think he should make changes because I think the squad's good enough to make changes. And I don't mean like wholesale changes where we don't stand a chance against Bayern Munich, but he could definitely rotate a few players, bearing in mind how important the Chelsea game is, because if Chelsea beat us on Sunday, they're 3 points behind us. And if Man City win, they're back in it. So that's a big game. So tomorrow, he could take out the likes of Calafiori and put Skelly in. Because, let's be honest, everyone was saying how brilliant Skelly was last season and, world-class left-back. Some people were comparing him with Ashley Cole and all this madness. And now they want Calafiori as first choice, and he does deserve first choice on the season that he's had. But you could put Skelly in at left back. You could perhaps start with Wanyeri on the right and give Saka a rest, which he's not going to do. Obviously, it's Bayern Munich; he's not going to do that. But there are one or two changes that he can make. At the end of the day, it's the occasion that's going to pick the team, isn't it? I just think the fixture, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich, Champions League at the Emirates, you know what this manager's going to do. He's going to play his starting 11. He's going to play his full team. He ain't going to take many chances. He's not going to use certain players to kind of give them minutes and rotate his squad so that they're not burnt out against Chelsea. He's going to go in with a Rice. He's going to start with Zubimendi. He's going to play Calafiori. In Cape, I wouldn't be surprised he don't line up with the same 11 he lined up against Spurs. And that for me would be a little bit of a disaster because, as I said, you've got the game coming up on Sunday. The reason why we've built up a squad at this football club, the reason why everyone's been crying out for squad depth is so that we don't get in a position where players are getting overplayed and injuries are being forced upon them. Now we've got that squad depth. The manager seems reluctant still to trust it. And I'll give you an example going back to Saturday. We scored that fourth goal round about the 75th, 76th minute. There was about 20 minutes game time left. Wanyeri played about 2 minutes. Skelly came on in the 89th minute. We still had Calafiori on the pitch that has just come back from injury and hasn't trained for 10 days. We still had Saka on the pitch that was blown out against Sunderland the week before. Right? And people are saying to me, what's this about Wanyeri? You want him to go on loan? I don't want him to go anywhere. But the fact of the matter is, he could have made some changes against Spurs, and he could have brought on players to give them game time, to give them experience, so that if they're called upon in the future through injuries, they've had game time and they're coming on with a little bit of up to speed. Because at the moment he's sticking to the same 11 week in, week out, and the players on the bench are not getting the minutes. And if they are called upon, they're going to come in rusty. So he's got a chance tomorrow to start Skelly. He's got a chance tomorrow to perhaps give Saka 60 minutes and then put Wanyeri on. I'm not saying don't start Saka from the start, but he's got a chance to give Wanyeri some game time tomorrow. He's got a chance to perhaps bring Norgard on, perhaps give Norgard or Rice a little breather. So he's got all these options and tools in his bag now, Jez, but we know it ain't going to happen. The lineup will probably be the same as what was against Spurs.
It's basically what Swede's saying here, mate. I mean, fair play. I mean, Raya, Timber, Mosquera, Saliba, Hincapi, Rice, Suba, Eze, Saka, Marino, Trossard.
Yeah.
That's the same setup, isn't it?
Same setup. And look, I see it. I understand it. We want to get the result against Bayern. It's a massive game. We want to get one over on Bayern, and I get all that. But we've built up enough points in the bag. We've got 12 points now. Our next away game is Bruges, which we should win. Then we've got International, which we should win. And then we've got the Carriat, which is probably a home banker in the last game. Look, a draw will probably suit both teams tomorrow. Yes, I want to win it tomorrow. Can we still win it if he makes one or two changes? I still think we can. I still think whatever player comes in is good enough to win tomorrow. However, Bayern Munich are a very, very good side. Hincapi will be tested tomorrow, unlike he was on Saturday. Whoever does play left back will be severely tested tomorrow with Elise. Kane's also, whether you like it or not, he is world class in my book. And Bayern Munich are a very, very good side. And like some people say, Arteta has got us, Company has got them. And it's going to be a massive test tomorrow. You'll know how far we are in our kind of development as a club with this new squad if Bayern turn up and fancy it tomorrow. If Bayern are at it, we will be tested. So it's going to be interesting.
Well, we know they're our nemesis. Babert says, drop Marino for Martinelli, Shane. What do you reckon on that? What do you reckon?
Yeah, well, listen. Yeah, I said this morning, and I meant it, that I would be less angry if we rotated 5-6 players and lost than I would if we didn't and drew. And I mean that because I think that rotation in this game, it's not only key for the players, it's key for me and for certain people to know that this guy will finally learn. He won't rotate. There's no way he will. I think he might make one change maximum one change. But as I said before the Spurs game, when Italy sent Calafiori home, said he has a hip injury. Arteta then said himself that he's had several injuries for a while. He hadn't trained in the week leading up to it. He then didn't train in the week leading up to the Spurs match. And I said, if Calafiori touches grass in this game before the teams came out, I said, I don't want to ever hear an excuse for injuries again. Not ever again, because it's just proof that this guy does this all the time. So for me, we've been through it over and over again, how important rotation is. It's not just about resting players. It's like DJ said, it's about getting these players in so they're used to the team. You saw Hincapié against Spurs on the 80th minute. He was ruined, absolutely ruined. He had played 80 minutes at centre-back for us before that. So he had to come in. If he had played more games here and there, he would have come in. He would have been fresher. So it's about these players not coming in cold. It's about them getting their minutes. It's about them feeling part of the team. So for me, I'd prefer to see 5-6 changes, take them on. If we lose, we lose. We'll still finish in the top 8, I'm almost certain of. But I know we have Inter. I know Club Brugge are no mugs, but we should be easily getting in the top 8. But his mind doesn't work that way. His mind thinks we haven't conceded yet in the Champions League. I want to make sure I keep that record, because that'll be give the people that want me to stay in a job, they can keep using that. But you have to rotate from the first game of the season. From the first game of the season, you have to rotate 1 or 2 players every time, take them out. It's all about getting the squad. It's all about keeping them fresh. And I've said it before as well, that if you put in Pep all the seasons at Barcelona, all the seasons at Bayern, and all the seasons at City, apart from last season and his first season, every year he finishes strong. And it's because he rotates. And this guy sat beside him on the bench for 2 or 3 years at City. He saw how he does it. It's not that he doesn't know how to rotate. It's that he refuses to. So Rice will start. I think maybe Calafiori might come out for Lewis Skelly. I don't know. The only reason that I think that is that he played Lewis Skelly against Atletico, but I think Calafiori was just too unfit for that one. Hincapié will start. Saliba will start. I think Timber will start. I think they'll all start. I think, and if he plays the same 11 or a variation of the same 11 with one change for the next 3 games, well, I think we're in trouble for the season. I really do, because when does the rest come? When does it come for these players? If you can't do it now, if you can't do it against Slavia Prague, if you can't do it at home to the lower half of the table teams, then it's never going to happen. So maybe someone like Madueke might get a start. I don't know, but will he make wholesale changes? No. Should he? Yes, I definitely think he should. But Martinelli up front, I'd have no problem with that. Give Madueke a start, but make sure you take him off after half time or after 60 minutes. He's not fully fit yet. Saka, it hasn't been right. I fear that he never will be, if I'm being honest with you. But I would like to see several changes. Will it happen? No, I really don't. And we can lose that game. I'll put it to you this way before I finish. If I was offered 2 wins out of these 3 games, out of Spurs, Chelsea and Bayern, and 1 loss, I'd say easily take the loss against Bayern, because we're still in a healthy position. Lose to Chelsea, and it could change it. People are all obsessed with these winning streaks and all that sort of stuff. For me, a winning streak doesn't make a difference if your players burn out.
I disagree with that, because at the end of the day, right, he's got the squad now. He's got the squad. So there's no excuse not to actually go and win anything. No,
that's what I'm saying. But he has to rotate them. But the point is, he should be rotating. He should definitely be rotating. But he won't.
I want to ask Lawrence this, right? In Jan Druliep, if I've abused your name, I do apologise. We have to rotate. From now on, we have a game every 3 days, average. Yes, we have. Over the next week, we have games every 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days. So we have to rotate, Shane. And I also want to drag you into this one, right? We've got Chelsea Sunday, 4:30, right? Down the bridge. Going to be a tricky game. They're going to be up for it. You know that. They're second. They're right behind us. 7 points behind us now. So they're going to want to put us on a situation. But we have to, Lawrence. Surely this is the time this manager's got to stand up and show, as I'll use Kenny Ken's phrase, put his nuts on the table, because now is the time to see what he's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. But we know what this manager's all about, you know. Everyone on this panel and in the chat room knows what he should do, but he'll do it his way, and he won't change it, you know, because he's stubborn. I mean, I'm not expecting many changes tomorrow night. I mean, maybe he'll bring on Martinelli for Trossard. Whether he brings Madueke on to start the game, I don't know. But we all know this manager is arrogant, he's stubborn, he runs these players into the ground until they're knackered. This is going to be very important. You know, we've got games every 3 days, and how he rotates the side is going to determine whether he's going to stay on as manager at the end of the season. Because even though we've got a massive squad, it's not going to change it much. He'll probably make 1 or 2 changes, but not significant changes.
Yeah, I get that. Kenny, you'll be going down to the bridge on Sunday, 4:30. Always a good day out down there. Nice, easy journey. But how do you see it going, Kenny? Because look, we've got a massive game tomorrow night. We've got to, personally for me, Kenny, we must beat Bayern Munich. We need revenge. To me, it's revenge.
Well, I think you know, you're spot on. You know, you're so spot on, because you've got to think about the bigger picture as well. I understand everyone's comments about how the Tottenham game went, and how you know, we're winning the game, we should have made substitutions. But I haven't, like you. I got scars of Arsenal defeats. You got scars, obviously, Bayern Munich home and away, 5-10-2, Wenger years, a process before that. I have got scars from the League Cup semi-final at White Lane, 5-1. So I wanted Spurs into the ground. I thought, hang on, they're dying, mate. They're dying. They're asking for mercy. I just wanted 5, 6, anything. But I do get where they come from. We have to play clever, because injuries and too many games is that going to be our Achilles heel. What I'm finding is subconsciously, as Arsenal fans, collectively, it seems that the league is a priority, regardless of the fact that some of Arsenal fans state openly that they haven't seen us win a Champions League. From the comments I'm hearing, and a channel, you know, talks about resting players in lieu of the Chelsea game. It seems like the league is a priority. In terms of what we'll do, I think he'll go strong, because the simple reason is that it's Bayern Munich, and it's a big game. And he'll just have to pray that he doesn't get anything serious against injuries that will put him out of Chelsea. The problem is, we know rotation is the right way to go. You know, we understand it from a physical point of view, but it's all about up here and what the manager's fears. You can have all the best players in the world, and you can sign the best players, you know, 2 players for every position, but you're still going to have in your mind who should be playing in your team. And 9 out of 10 times, that's Rice, Saka, the back 4, players who probably need a rest, but he'll play them for every 90 minutes every game, because it's the way he wants to play. You know, he has a plan A for the reason. It's with those players in mind. You know, it's nice that we have Reza's coming in. It's nice we have Trossard coming in and showing what they're good at. Nice that Madueke is an option. But that core is playing tomorrow. That core will be playing every game. Unless there's something serious and they're in the sort of, not just a red sun, but I'm talking about, you know, serious, not critical. They'll play, and therein lies the problem. I think with Mikel Arteta, the league's his priority. on the basis that he couldn't win before. Champions League would be nice, but the league is his priority. However, if it's a big game in Europe, his team are playing. That first team's playing. There'll be no changes. Do I think there should be changes? Probably not. But you know my position. I think the Champions League is a nice little dessert. But what I really want is the league.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree with you, man. I totally agree with you. You know, we both said last season this team was better set up to win the Champions League than the Premier League, didn't we? I mean, you know, DJB.
Yeah.
You going away to Chelsea the weekend?
I'm hoping to be there. I'm hoping to be there. Yeah, we've got a few things to sort out, but yeah, I'm hoping to be there at the weekend. I'm a little bit different with Kenny. As much as I love the league, as much as I want the league, that's the bread and butter. That's the one that train week in and week out for, etc., etc. But for me, it's Champions League, and the reason why I say the Champions League is because, quite simply, in our lifetime, I'm in my late 50s. There's people, men and women older than me, never seen it. There's generations before me, granddads, aunts, uncles, nans, never seen us win the Champions League. Also, for a club the size of Arsenal, our record in Europe is a disgrace. An absolute disgrace. Cup Winners' Cup, Affairs Cup, and really missing out on penalties as well. That's about it. So for me, the Champions League is the one I want to win. I'd like to win both. And if that happens, all well and good. But look, I understand tomorrow's going to, the occasion is going to get to me. He loves big game occasions. We all do. And on that basis, he's not going to rotate certain players. He's going to line up with the same 11. And let's just hope and pray certain players don't pick up injuries, because going into that Chelsea game without a Declan Rice and a Timber at right back could be costly. But they're the chances you have to take. And if the league does fall by the wayside, at least we then can concentrate on the Champions League. But yeah, I mean, it's the big one. It's the big one for me, Champions League. That's the one. If someone was to say to me Champions League or Premiership, obviously both. But if I was to pick one, Champions League, and that is because we've never won it. I've never seen it, and we can't really eat at the big table until we've won it. We're still the table. We're still the table by the exit. We can't eat with the big boys unless we win that Champions League.
I always say, mate, we're sitting by the gents' toilet.
Exactly. And Jez, I'm sick and tired of the away fans underneath me, certain clubs when they come to the Emirates, singing about Europe, you'll never win that and all of this. I'm just sick and tired of it. So yeah, whatever team he puts out, I just want to see a convincing performance. Performance. But I'm going to be interested on. It'll be a big test. Whatever team plays tomorrow, this will be a test. This will show us how far this squad has come and how far this manager's come. Because, as I said, Bayern Munich are a very, very tidy outfit.
You going tomorrow night, DJ?
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Yeah.
Fair play, man. I'm jealous. Kenny will be there. Shano, you go to a game? Are you going to a game? You're going to a game soon, aren't you?
Yeah. Brentford Wednesday night, Wednesday week. Yeah.
That's going to cost you a few quid getting over from Ireland.
No, it's actually I got it really cheap, and I got sorted out by someone in the chat. Actually sorted me out with the ticket and stuff like that at cost price, so it's actually quite cheap, and I'll be staying with Aaron as well. So yeah, no, it's actually really, really cheap for me to go over, and I'm not bringing the missus this time, so that's normally where the money goes. You know what I mean?
Fair play, man. Give me your Shane. Give me your prediction for the game tomorrow at Chelsea.
Yeah, for some reason I see a 2-2 tomorrow night. I don't know why. Kane's guaranteed a penalty at some point, didn't he? So I mean, they'll get a goal out of that. And I see it 2-2. Chelsea will depend for me. If he plays the full team tomorrow night, I'd be more worried about Chelsea. I mean that if he plays the full 11 and we have the same 11 playing 3 games in 7 days, that makes me more worried about Chelsea. If he made a few changes tomorrow, he's never going to change Rice, but if he rested a Calafiori and a Timber and a couple of others, it would make me feel slightly more confident about Chelsea. But I am worried about Chelsea. I think that they're finding a bit of something. The only plus is that I think they've lost 2 at home. I think 2 of their losses have been at home to like Brighton and Sunderland, I think. But they're another team that get up for big games. Chelsea, they like a big game. We've beaten them at home, beaten them at Stamford Bridge a surprising amount over the last couple of years, which I was surprised when I saw it. But we normally do struggle there. But I think 2-2 tomorrow night. If it's 2-2 with rotation, I'd be delighted. I'd be really, really happy with that. And I've said this already, and I'll say it again. I'd rather struggle with rotation than get a draw with no rotation. I know Kenny said to play the full team. But for me, I just think it's just really dangerous to do, especially then when we think about playing again Wednesday, playing again Saturday morning away to Villa, who have the best home record over the last 28 games of all top 5 leagues. A lot of games to come, and if we're not going to rotate in the Champions League where we've already won 4, I don't know when we will. If we had lost one, Jez, and drawn one out of the 4, I'd say, no, play the full team. We need to win this. But the fact that we could lose it and still quite easily qualify, I'm not all for it. But Kenny's right. He likes a big game. He wants to keep that clean sheet thing. He wants to be top of the table and say, look, we're top of both tables. He wants all of that stuff. It's all for him. But like I just put up there, Chelsea rested the lap and João Pedro today, and they're playing Barcelona. It's no easy game for them, So I do think the rotation, I don't want to always harp on about it, but I just think that that's what will derail us at the end of the season if he doesn't learn. DJB says it, I say it all the time. You lose Declan Rice and you can take 7, 8, 9 points out of our league campaign if he's out for a long time. So, yeah, I go 2-2, and I think a draw then against Chelsea as well, which I wouldn't be overly disappointed with, by the way. It depends on the manner of the draw again. And if he hasn't rotated and we draw both, then I'll be furious. But if he rotates around and we get 2 draws, I wouldn't be overly upset about it, if I'm being honest.
Well, we've got a couple of people coming in tomorrow. Enya says 2-2. Desmond. We've got Mike is saying 2-1. Positive. And we've got Kawaji saying 2-2. Okay. Not overly positive. Lawrence, mate, give me your predictions for tomorrow and Brighton, Chelsea.
Well, I'm not one for predicting. I just don't like predicting scores.
Well, you're gonna have to tonight, mate. You're on my show.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I'd be happy with 1-0 to us tomorrow. We've got a pretty decent record at Chelsea in recent years. So even though they are looking good themselves, maybe 1-1 draw, possibly.
I'll set a draw Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, because we've got games coming left, right, and centre now. This is the business part of the season, leading up to Christmas. So I can't see him making many changes tomorrow or against Chelsea. Maybe against Brentford, he'll shift some players around, give them some action.
Give me your predictions, mate.
Well, like I said, 1-0 tomorrow and 1-1 on Sunday.
Fair play, Kenny. Ken. Give me your predictions.
I'm going to go for 2 draws. I'm going to go for I think we'll concede, but we'll score 2-2. And I think on Sunday, I think it'll be 1-1. I think Chelsea are really, really strong at home, and they'll lift their game because it's us, and they won't make mistakes. It will just be like it was last season, where both teams, Chelsea really, 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 really came out of traps, faded, and that's probably where we might be strong. But I think they'll see it out. A point is good for us on Sunday, but a point is dreadful to Chelsea.
Fair play. I hear you. True say, oh, Lawrence, you did a couple of shows with the late Claude.
Yeah. I did a couple of shows on Claude's channel. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, bless him.
Yeah, bless Claude.
Bless you, mate.
DJB, give me your predictions, mate, tomorrow and Chelsea.
Oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to go 5-0 Arsenal tomorrow. No.
Excellent.
No, I was just taking the mick now. No, I'm going to go 1-1 tomorrow. I'm going to go 1-1 tomorrow. Yeah, I am. I can't see us winning that tomorrow. I was going to go 2-1 Bayern, but I'm going to go 1-1. This is going to upset quite a few people.
Here
I'm
we
going to
go.
go 2.
Here we go.
Unfortunately, I'm going to go. I can. I hate to say it. My heart wants, obviously, and my head wants Arsenal to win, but I can see Chelsea winning 2-1 on Sunday.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll give you my predictions then, gentlemen. Right. And I'm tomorrow going to go with a 2-1 win Arsenal. Right. And I'm going to 1-1 at Chelsea. That's me on that one.
I just got a bad feeling about Sunday.
I think we got too much for Chelsea. I think our defence will be in control. But who knows? Who bloody knows?
I just
go on?
Sorry, go on. No, can I just clarify, because I don't, it came across a little bit short and sweet and ultra. The only reason why I'm saying 2-1 Chelsea is because they know that if we beat them, their season's over. Simple as that. If they win, they're 3 points behind us. So I think there's more on it for them, and I think they're at home, and that's the only reason. Is because if we win, it probably over for them. They'll go 6 points behind. So,
I disagree. I think there's more on it for us, DJ, because if their aim is top 4, it's more on it for us. I do feel there's more on it for us.
Possibly. I just got a bad feeling about it. That's all. That's just my own personal opinion. I'm hoping I'm wrong, obviously.
When you get the feeling, you get the feeling.
Yeah.
But I got it bad. I got it badly wrong at the weekend. I got it badly wrong. But anyway, we're going to move on.
We all did, I think. I don't think anyone saw that shit.
One bad note. The referee for the game at Chelsea is Anthony Taylor. So
exactly, that's another.
Well, he owes them a few favours, doesn't he? After the favours he gave us in 2 cup finals.
Yeah.
We've got our favourite ref at the weekend, Anthony Taylor. So that's right. Kenny Ken, we're going to wrap it up, people, right here, right now. Kenny, shout out where we can find you on Instagram, man.
You can find me at Kenny Ken 1972. I'll be, after we've done this, obviously going to watch Chelsea Barcelona. I'm sorry, Man City and Newcastle fans. Obviously, Man City have got Leverkusen, Newcastle got Marseille, but I'm going to be like a broad on the street corner and go for the glamour toy and go for the payday. So yeah, the payday for me, footballing wise, is Chelsea Barcelona, and I want to see your Mal play again.
Exactly, Kenny. Exactly. Same here.
Always. DJB, as always, mate. Great content you're putting out.
No, it's been lovely, man. Thank you very much indeed. The Arsenal huddle. Arsenal huddle. I'm gonna watch the Chelsea because I want to see how they perform against Barca, and I want to see Lamel play. Obviously, like Kenny, we like seeing brilliant players. Yeah, that's about it, really. What have I got coming up? I've got Kenny with Kenny on Thursday. Not got too much coming up because I'm busy Friday. I'm going to a 60th birthday party. Lovely. I'm hoping to get a Spurs fan on with me on Thursday. Very nice man.
Is it a surprise 60th?
No. It's not a surprise 60th, but I've got to go all the way up to the other side of London. It's a nightmare journey.
What, West London?
Maid of Vale.
Oh, that's virtually like Kilburn side, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's going to be lovely. It's going to be an absolute lovely evening.
That's posh up there. That's posh up there, Maid of Vale.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it'd be good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Obviously,
it's just inside Westminster, but some of it's in Brent, so it's not that posh.
Exactly.
Some of it is.
So I'm looking forward to getting a hug off of Uncle Ken tomorrow. If I bump into him, he give me a nice big hug, warm me up.
Oh, cool.
Ready
I'm
for the
sure.
game.
Is Aaron going to wear shorts tomorrow?
He'll be in shorts tomorrow. Yeah, he'll be in shorts tomorrow.
I couldn't believe when I saw him on Sunday.
I know.
He was in shorts. I was shocked.
I know. He'll be
Matt,
in shorts tomorrow.
Well, I didn't know he's a postman. Postman only ever wears shorts in the winter. Their thing, isn't
He's
it?
trying to make his legs look longer. That's all he's doing.
No, but big up, and big up everyone in the chat.
Yeah,
Bless you all.
that's all it ever is, man. But before we wrap it up, man, Jez, if you ever fancy going to a game, speak with Aaron. I don't need to speak to anybody, mate. I can get a ticket if I want to. But
Are you still going to the Wolves game? Because you was going to go to the Wolves game, weren't you?
Yep, I'll be there with some of my very old mates. And after that, we're going for curry. And
I'll tell you, they open till like midnight. The curry houses.
No, we're going down the West End, mate. We're going down the West End.
Afterwards. I'll tell you what, you better motor out there because the game's going to finish about 10 o'clock, innit?
Yeah, no worries about that. It doesn't shut about 3 in the morning.
Oh, fair enough.
There you go.
No dramas, mate. You know exactly where we're going. And I'll get stitched up. I will get stitched up again, as I always do.
What, to pay for everyone?
No. I would order what I want, and then some little shit, right? There'll be about 12 of us there, and somebody will like have a quick word with the old waiter. I'll spice it up a bit, will you? Spice it up.
No. Bit of tampering, bit of curry tampering.
I get done.
Gotta be done.
Look, we've been at that restaurant for like the last 15 years, and I'll get done every single time.
I feel you paid, mate.
Because I've had way too much to drink, and then I'm like, yeah, whatever.
We'll let bump into each other at the Wolves game, Jezza.
We'll have some of that.
No,
we'll have some of that. We'll have some of that.
It's 8 o'clock kickoff as well.
Do you go down to Tollington? Do you boys get in the Tollington?
Not now. I don't.
We either go like Tollington or normally I start off in the George. We end up in the Che Guevara around the corner from the Collington.
George and the Che we go.
Oh, okay.
But you know, Jez, you know the proper pubs are in like Moray Road and like the Duke in Funtle Road, which is closed down back in the day.
Yeah, no, we'll sort that out. Shano, mate, you're coming over for the game next week, whenever it is.
Yep.
Brentford game.
That's going to be a good game, you know. That's going to be a competitive game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout your channel, mate. Your work rate is relentless. Every day doing the Irish breakfast. I missed it today, sadly. I was out. But shout yourself out, mate, please.
Yeah, no, big up for having me on, as always. Absolute legend and the wonderful panel and the wonderful chat. Yeah, I'll be over for the Brentford game. Apparently I don't know how many people are going to weigh me in when I'm over there. People in the chat, there's 7 or 8 of them are going to weigh me in, apparently. But we shall see what happens. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, meeting up with the lads, having a laugh. The full Irish breakfast will be tomorrow morning again, as always. And then Thursday night will be the Bruised Banana. Saturday night will be the off-topic show. We'll be discussing the greatest academies in club football. A few surprises in it. A few of it that have to be there. La Masia and stuff like that just have to be there. But there's a couple of surprises. I'd have to do a bit more digging. Spent a few hours doing out things about it. I got 12 of them. I want to get a couple more in. Someone mentioned a couple today that I want to put in. But yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I'm really looking forward to that one. But yeah, big up for having me on. As I said, the full Irish every morning. And I'll see everybody tomorrow, whoever's there. Let's get those numbers right back up. Screw YouTube and what they're doing to us. But listen, it's all part of it.
Fantastic, mate. Lawrence, fabulous to have you on, my friend.
Yeah, big up.
I will be doing a Christmas quiz with Kenny Ken.
Yes, please.
I don't know whatever happened to that Man United fan, Kenny.
I was looking forward to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he disappeared. I've never seen him since.
Mims has gone. I don't know where he's gone. I ain't seen him for ages.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
He disappeared, mate. But Lawrence, thank you for joining us from over the pond, California way. Happy Thanksgiving to you on Thursday, and I hope you enjoy your day. And mate, where can we find you if you've got any socials?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on your show. It's been a pleasure being in such great royalty like Kenny Ken, DJB, and Shane. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next quiz that you have, Jess, because I want to finish ahead of Shane, because I feel like I got robbed last time.
No.
You can all reach me.
That's my second place.
On Instagram. My Instagram account is once a Gooner, always a Gooner. Once is the number one, not the word once. One.
No, always, mate, always. You're breaking up there, my friend. But yeah, it will be probably second week of December. Shano, I'll invite him. DJ, if you want to join, of course, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And
all I need is a pen. All I need is a pen and paper.
And Kenny Ken, the encyclopedia. But I have.
Nash has asked a question. It's not too far in Sussex Way. Sorry, the number 19 pub. Not too far, but yeah, I tend to. I have been past there quite a few times, but I haven't been around Sussex Way. I tend to go further in Archway, so I bypass it. Sussex Way.
Yeah, blame, mate. If you come down this way, give me a call. Pop in.
No, Sussex Way in London.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant.
Yeah, 19 pubs in Sussex Way. It's you know, like off Sussex Way. It's off Hornsey Road.
Yeah,
and up Hornsey Rise. Yeah,
I thought you meant down here.
He don't too far from his kebab shop after the game, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Half the kebab shop, yeah.
You can.
Hornsey's a lovely area, though, isn't it? It's very very nice area.
Well, where I am.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's lovely. No, it's lovely. It's lovely. Get no dramas around here, apart from when I call it. It's only what I call drama around here. But anyway,
it's nice, it's quiet though, and it's a nice place to bring up kids, isn't it?
That's why we got out. But gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed it.
Go and watch the Chelsea.
As Jamie Oliver, one of my favourite chefs, would say, it's been emotional, and it's been fantastic. Thank you, guys, and we're going to wrap it up. And thank you all for joining. Your great comments that have made the show. Basically, Kenny, I always thank you. Respect.
DJ, enjoy yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolute real one. And when you actually sit there and listen to what you gentlemen say, and Shano as well, we've got massive experience. And the fact last night, that shit show that I watched this afternoon with Kenny, you were on it, of course.
I was.
In Jokers.
Thing is, inadvertently, I've met all of them outside the podcast, and me and Julian have been talking for the last 3 years, so I've got to know him really well. Steve Dan,
I'll just slap him around
as well, but
I ain't got time. I ain't got time for people. Kenny, I admire your patience. I ain't got time for any of them. Not any time.
I hear it coming. I think he asked, it was nice that he personally asked if I'd go, and I thought, yeah.
Big up, Kenny.
I see. Yeah, so I thought, let's give it a try.
And I'm out of it. Take care. I'm going to have a nice roast dinner with my wife tonight. And we'll take care. Do the outro, boys, and we'll see you later.